Welcome back to Inside Personal Growth. This is Greg Voisen, the host of Inside Personal Growth. And every time I come on these shows, I have to thank my listeners because the people come from around the world. I looked at the statistics the other day, and there are places in this world that people are listening to this show that I don't even know where they are. I've never been there, but I have to thank them because obviously the show is done in English only. And it just shows me there's a lot of English speakers out there if they're listening to all these podcasts. So thank you all for listening. We have Yuval Goren on this morning with us, and he is the founder of a very successful software program called Success Wizard. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Thanks for being on with us. Thanks for being on with our listeners and spending some time. And I've known about you for a long time, but really never made this deep connection that we have so far until just the last 2 or 3 months. And it's unfortunate that I waited so long because he's been at this, 11 years now with the software? Almost 11 years with the software. But I'm going to let our listeners know just a tad bit about you so they understand what this software is. Then we're going to get into really some of the specifics of the software and really some of the psychology behind the software as well, because a big part is really the psychology that goes along with goal setting and doing dream boards and vision boards and all the things that we'll probably get into talking about. So Yuval is a former high-tech executive that became a life engineer. I love the term, and personal development coach. He's the founder and CEO of Success Wizard, Inc., this company founded with the goal of helping millions of people worldwide live happier, more authentic, and fulfilling lives. Success Wizard develops impactful and highly effective interactive online programs and mobile applications to help people change, grow, and enrich their personal and professional lives. These unique life-changing programs integrate the world's most effective personal development and coaching techniques to provide a complete step-by-step practical and affordable solution to support users in achieving their personal goals. Prior to founding Success Wizard, Yuval enjoyed a very successful and rewarding 2-decade career as an entrepreneur executive in a high-tech industry. And was that in the cellular industry?
Wireless communication. It was the early days of Wi-Fi. Before it was called Wi-Fi. That's what we did.
Wi-Fi. And he made a career transition when he left it and a time to redefine his life purpose and follow his passion. And believe me, anybody who puts this much time into developing a piece of software like this knows a ton about personal growth. You couldn't do what he's doing and not have just this amazing background in personal growth. So I think the best place to start, Yuval, is to tell the listeners a little about yourself and why you created Success Wizard. I mean, I know you say it in very eloquent terms on the website, but let's just get it down to the common man who's out there listening saying, why would I want Success Wizard? And why do you believe a cloud-based software system is the best way for people to develop and keep track of their dreams, their desires, and their goals? A lot of people still use paper-based stuff. They still use planners. They still use goal-setting tools. There's still lots of those being sold, but yours really is unique. Tell us the differentiation in it.
Yeah, so first of all, the idea of using something in an online tool is a matter of convenience and accessibility. So if you're using, like paper-based planners, it's something that you always need to carry with you. You forget it in different places and so on. It's not always available. Technology today, and this is why when I started this business like 10 years ago, the idea was to leverage the latest technologies and, mobile and web technologies in order to give people all the tools they need to be able to achieve success in their life. And by the way, we need to define what success means. And many people ask the question, what do you mean by success? Why the company is called Success Wizard? And success, to me, is basically the ability to live your life the way you want it. And that's success. For some people, it's about, starting a company. For other people, it's about, having a great family and whatever it is. But whatever you want to achieve in life, if you are able to put yourself on the path to achieving it, this is success to me. And what I found, and the reason I founded this company and started this project, let's say, is because many people out there, I found, don't have the tools and the structure to be able to accomplish that. Many people are trying to set goals, once a year, beginning of the year, and they never, get anywhere. Or many people are actually living kind of the dark. They don't even have any goals. That's amazing to think about it. That many people, you ask them, what's your goal? Where do you want to see yourself, 5 years from today? They have no clue. And to me, this is kind of unfortunate, because you want people to work towards something, whatever it is. That's right. It's not like necessarily something that you have to accomplish materialistic, but something that you want, a place you want to be, a vision that you want to fulfill. So that to me is success. And the success wizard, the idea here is to have a complete set of tools that will make it possible for somebody to achieve those dreams that they have. That's kind of the idea behind it.
Well, and Success Wizard does have all the tools, and we're going to get into just some of those tools in the overview and some of the features of the software, because I think, people say, well, Greg, you interview all these people that write books, and all of them on personal growth and wellness and mastery and spirituality and all the business and all that. And yes, but when you author a piece of software, it's way more complicated than writing a book. Right? And to actually have this have been available for 10 years, what in your estimation does Success Wizard do effectively that some of your competition, and you have competition at this, that they don't do as well as you do?
Yes, so for competition, I guess, do you mean other tools, other pieces of software, or
yes.
just?
Yeah, there are other software tools out there that do goal setting and whatever.
Yeah,
but yours is really the design behind how you utilize this. The user interface I found quite effective, quite easy to use, and especially on the app, the mobile app for iOS and Android, which we'll get into. You've got a desktop version too, but go ahead.
Yes. So the idea here, I think that this is the main point here. This is, I call it a life management system. It's not, just a simple to-do list, or it's not just, a place to list your goals, or kind of a bucket list, or it's not just a journaling app, or it's not just, let's say, habit tracker. We have many of those out there. What we have done here is actually we have compiled a complete set of tools that are required for somebody to, first of all, plan, they'll kind of come up with their life vision, plan their goals, have set their goals, be able to track their goals, then actually schedule their daily routine and able to follow up on a daily basis, track, their new habits that they're trying to create, a journaling piece inside it, a notepad, a communication between all the different devices. You can sync between your iPad and iPhone, Android, and web. So it's one set of complete set of tools that is helping people to basically to achieve whatever they want to achieve in life, and instead of using pieces here and there. That's the idea.
Well, let's talk about some of those things you've developed over this almost 11 years of this. When you do something like this for this long, you're looking, you're seeking, you're trying to always make things better, you're always improving. And one of the things that's always been out there for people is routine. And you have a morning and evening routine. And it was incorporated into the software. What, in your estimation, did you feel that it was so important to put 2 buttons in there for a morning and an evening routine? In other words, the psychology behind this morning and evening routine.
Yes, I think this is part of, we'll probably speak more about habits a bit later, but this is part of basically creating new habits for yourself. And what I found, I'm also coaching. I'm a coach, for like 10 years already, a life coach and executive coach and so on. And I do believe very strongly that if you want to change your life, you need to change your habits. There is nothing, that's the only way to change. If you don't change anything that you do, nothing will change, of course. So,
right.
And most of what we do during the day is the same thing each and every day, correct? So if you want to change something, you need to change your habits. And you want some kind of a structure. So the morning and evening routines, this is basically a way for you, especially the morning one, to actually sit down, plan your day, decide exactly how you're going to spend your time, have some intention, into, what I'm going to do today, what kind of an impact I'm going to make, what's important for me to focus on. It's about getting focused. It's about making sure that you're going to be productive during the day, because we are all so busy. That's right. There is so much that we need to do. So many, on your to-do list is typically much, much, much longer than it should be. We typically suggest people not have more than 5 or 6 items actually per day. Otherwise, you're completely confused about what to do first. So being able to focus, being able to plan your day, being able to make sure that you're going to do the most important pieces or activities that you need to accomplish every day in order to achieve your goals. And again, this is why it's so important that it's kind of a purpose-driven life, basically. You have some kind of a reason to do whatever you want to do. So having these few moments in the morning to plan your day, I think is critical in order to make the day effective and productive for you. And then at the end of the day, it's about reflection. It's about to look back, to think, have I accomplished what I wanted to accomplish today? If not, why not? Am I happy about what happened today? What kind of a lesson can I learn from, what happened today? One of the questions I ask people to always to ask themselves at the end of the day, what did I learn today?
Mm-hmm.
Was there is one thing that I've learned today? It's an insight, or it's an idea, or it's a concept, something I'm going to act on maybe tomorrow, for example, or for the rest of my life. So if you keep asking yourself those questions by the end of every day, you'll keep growing, you'll keep moving forward, you'll keep, doing something better. And it's not just kind of on living on autopilot and then realizing 20 years from today that my life just kind of, I don't know where the time go. No, it's something that you plan and you follow every day. And then,
and when you ask questions, you create greater levels of awareness in your consciousness.
Exactly.
To actually be able to shift the habit and behavior. Now, a few months ago, we had BJ Fogg on here for his book, Tiny Habits, professor at Stanford, extremely well-known, sold thousands and thousands of books. He's been on a couple of times. But, in particular, he talks about tiny habits, right? I'd say tiny habits because it's the small little things that you can change every day. Do you believe that the Success Wizard has built in a tool with the tools that you have, because you've created so much in this software, that it will make people aware of those tiny habits and tracking them to make those substantial changes in their life? One of the examples that he uses, because BJ used to be overweight. You can't see that by looking at him now, but he was extremely overweight, and he talks about, you didn't gain all that weight all at once, and you're not going to lose it all at once. So what are the habits you're going to change? When you go down to the grocery store aisle and you see the ice cream and you go, no, I'm walking past the ice cream, because you're doing behavioral modification. How does this software, how might this software work in the same way to change behavior modification?
Yes, exactly. So we have a section specifically about habits. It's called habits, of course. That's,
Right.
it's a very important, piece of the software. Is that the idea here is that you select, we have many lists of examples that you can choose from, but you can create any habit that you want in each area of your life, so we have habits about, lifestyle and about career and about, family, whatever it is, health. So you choose, hopefully a short list of habits. Again, we don't want to overwhelm people. So you start with a short list of habits. You define the habit, and then you define the schedule. How frequently you want to perform this habit. With what time. It's very critical that people, of course, there are theory about how to set habits and how to be successful at doing it, and we have incorporated all this into the app basically. So you get reminders, you can set everything that you want. So it will always remind you. You can add pictures to kind of visualize the habit for yourself, for example. So, and the idea is that the tool, and this is why it's important, it's on your phone, for example, it's always there for you. So if the habit, for example, is, go to the gym every day at 7 p.m., for example, or 7 a.m., whatever it is, it's going to be there for you. You're going to use the app not only to remind you, but also to track your performance. So every day when you go to the gym, you check the box and say, I've done it. And you can actually, another feature we have is actually you can check how long you have went to the gym. I was in the gym for 15 minutes, for 45 minutes, and you can look at it at the end of the day, end of the week, and say, here's how much time I spent exercising, for example, this week.
Mm-hmm.
For some people, it's very important to track that. Or anything that you want to track, you can track using the tools that we have in the app. So this is critical, because if you don't
So
have
it's the psychology behind it, Yuval, to actually have the tracking tool to create, we call it creating a new habit. You just said that. But at the same time, I think when it's in the software, it creates a higher level of awareness if you are actually using it and tracking it.
Yes.
Because if you're not remembering what it was. But if it's in the software, you're remembering.
And two more things I would say. One of them is that when you track it, like I said, you can always go back and look at it and making sure that you learn from the experience. And, if there is anything that you want to adjust or improve, you can always go back and do it. Another piece is, it's about accountability, but also what we have in the app, for example, in the program, is the ability to collaborate with other people. So for example, if you have some kind of a group of people, or maybe just one person, that you want to be your accountability buddy, for example, that's right? So you want to make sure he or she is going to make sure that you're actually going to the gym, like you promised yourself that you're going to do. You can share your goals or habits with this specific person, and this specific person can actually open their own app, and they see if you actually went to the gym or not, last week, and say, hey, what's going on, Greg? Why are you not, following your kind of commitment to yourself? So accountability is a very important piece. And this is also, again, built into the app, the ability to share it among, it can be a business goal, for example, or busince, thing that you want to do, and you want the team, actually, everybody on the team.
Well, I'll add to this, since COVID, I think everybody's routines have been uprooted. They've changed. This particular pandemic has shifted everything for everybody. So you couldn't have a better time to actually go get this application, whether it's for iOS or Android or your desktop or a combination of all of them, because I want to really state that, I think right now in this particular time, as we go through this COVID thing, it's more important than ever to try and keep some of those routines, to try and do them, because they have all gotten busted up. They've all changed, and people are kind of lost a little bit. Hey, the gym's not open anymore. You're just talking about the gym. I mean, even down here, they just kind of opened up again. But where you live, they're probably still closed.
Not closed, so you can have your gym inside the house. That's
right.
What I'm doing.
Right.
That's right.
But you shift it up for walking or running or yoga or whatever it is that you're going to do.
Exactly.
Now, you've created a tool that I think is really important here. And this one goes down to mission, vision, values, purpose. And it's called the Clarity Wizard. The tool is to help people define their values, their purpose, their dreams, their vision. Why is the Clarity Wizard such an important element? Because you just said 10 minutes ago, hey, people should only have about 5 tasks. And here's what happens to people. They put 15 tasks out there, and none of the tasks are in alignment with their values. They're certainly not in alignment with their purpose. And they're saying, hey, wait, I ended up the end of the day here, and I did stuff that wasn't even stuff that I wanted to do. Now, I have a second part to this question, because we know that the Clarity Wizard's important. But as a coach, how do you advise the people that are listening out here today that we know you have those mundane things you still have to do, like pay your bills and do whatever, and you may disdain that kind of stuff. How do you help them incorporate that in there and still live a balanced life?
Yes. Okay. So let's talk about Clarity Wizard first of all. So I think this is the foundation, because what you're trying to do something for a reason. And I'm always saying, the why is very important. So when you set goals, I'm, like you said, I'm also coaching people, and I want to make sure that they have a very clearly defined goals for themselves. And it has to always, the main question is why. Why do you want to achieve whatever it is that you want to achieve? And in order to know that, this is where we go to clarity. So you need to know yourself. You need to understand what you care about, what's important for you in life. because your values, to me, values is like the most important thing, because you want to make sure that your life is aligned with your values. Whatever you do during the day must support your values. If you go against your values, you feel pain. It's not who you are. So you want to make very clear to yourself what your values are today. By the way, values do change, from time to time during our life. But whatever is very important for you today, you want to make sure that you are going to spend time, not just thinking about it, actually spend time doing it, doing something that you care about. For example, if you care about your health, okay, not just, instead of just saying, I care about my health, but no, go to the gym once a week or once a day, excuse me, and do something about it, and make sure that you change your diet accordingly, because this is important to you. If this is what you care about, or if it's your family or whatever it is that you care about, your business, whatever, just make sure that you actually spend the time doing it. Anyhow, so going back to clarity, so you want to make sure that you understand who you are, you understand what's important for you, you understand what your dreams are, what you want to accomplish, and the purpose of this clarity wizard, the end result of it, is to get to what I call a life vision, is how you want to see your life, let's say 5 years from today. So some kind of a vision, here's where I'm going, that's where I want to see myself 5 years from today, in each area of your life, business-wise, career-wise, health, family, lifestyle, whatever it is. And when you have, that's, to me, this is the beginning. So have some kind of a vision, and once you have the vision, the next step, okay, what are the actual goals that I'm trying to achieve? Okay, I want to start a business. I want the business to be able to make so much. I want to start a family. I want to buy a house, whatever it is. But those goals, my point here, those goals must be derived from some kind of a vision. And the vision must be tied to you, to who you are, to your values, to the things that you care about.
What do you tell people? What do you tell people, Yuval, who are, I want to say, they feel lost? They don't even know what their vision is. They're feeling overwhelmed by everything. They're feeling depressed. Whatever it might be, sometimes people get lost in the weeds, that way I call it, right? They can't see. They can't see clear. They don't even know how to create that vision. What advice would you give them to get out of that spot and create a vision for themselves?
So yeah, that's what I'm saying. So the vision is the end of the clarity process. The beginning is actually to identify your values and what you care about the most in life. What's important for you, and try to forget. People today are so competitive. They're looking at other people, what other people are doing. They want to be like other people. They expect to be able to do what other people are doing. The social media stuff. And think about just yourself. If you can take yourself and be by yourself and just think about what's important to me. What do I care about the most, and why? Why is this so important to me? And the exercise of actually coming up with the list of values, when I'm coaching people one-on-one, this is the first exercise I'm doing, and we spend a lot of time doing it because you want to make sure it's correct. You want to make sure it's very specific. And when you say, I care about something, I want to make sure that you believe in it and it's true for you. And it's actually, you kind of dig deep inside you and say, this is what I want to be able to accomplish something in my life. This is important to me. I want to achieve something because I want to prove something to me or whatever. So digging deeper into yourself and coming up with, this is what's important to me. And that will, kind of a vision for myself, or a mission for myself will make me happy. What will actually make you happy, not just artificially, but actually deeply inside. Something that, really be very, very excited if I can be that person, I can be that thing. I want to be able to be around people. I want to have my own family, or whatever it is. This is, kind of disconnect yourself from the outside noise, and there is so much noise out there, and just think about yourself.
Yeah.
And that's the beginning of it. And hopefully that will help you a little bit to get to a point and say, okay, here's where I want to see my life 5 years from today. And then you actually start planning, okay, how do I get there? But that's kind of the second piece.
One of the things that I think any good coach does, and I was just coaching a young man yesterday, and very, very bright. But, you start a new habit like meditation or journaling, and we're going to talk about journaling. You have this daily journaling section. There's no specific gratitude section, but you could put it into this journaling section.
Actually, there is. I would tell you, yes.
Okay,
yes.
So you have incorporated this diary section into the Success Wizard. What is the intention by having the tool as part of the software? I know why I journal, but
Mhm.
what is this when you put this in electronically, right? Because there's a lot of people that still write in a separate journal,
Mhm.
not a, there's lots of digital journals out there,
Yes.
iOS based and Android based and all that. So I know this is all incorporated into one, but what was your intention behind putting that in there?
So the intention is, first of all, that I do believe that journaling is critically important in order to be able to think with yourself.
Hmm.
So, and I know I see it in clients and myself, when you think on paper, and paper can be actually electronic paper if you want, but it's when you think by writing. By the way, you can also speak, in our tool, for example, you can actually talk to your iPhone. It will actually, you can record your voice or actually translate it to text, whatever it is. But when you uh, spend time thinking about yourself and your day and your life, whatever it is, and you actually describe your emotions. We have also inside the journal piece, there is a mood meter. I'm not sure if you noticed it even. You can go and actually record how you feel during the day and actually look back later on, a week later, a month later, how did you feel during the day or during the month or whatever it is. But again, journaling and be able to express yourself, I think this is critical it's not, I'm not saying anything new, most people know about it, is something that is very important in order for you to feel good about yourself and complete and again, learn lessons and so on from the day.
Well, it's
Uh,
almost like your evening routine. One of your evening
yes,
routines should be go back to the software and journal
that's
what
exactly
went
what we
on
do.
during the day, right?
That's exactly what we do. And
Yeah.
also going back to your gratitude journal. So in the morning, actually, in the morning routine, so we have the morning routine and evening routine, and you can still go in any other time, of course, to journal if you want. But in the morning routine, we actually have a piece of gratitude journal. There is a question there, okay, what are you grateful for today, for example? And you can basically make a list each and every day. And of course, the list is saved in the system. You can always go back and remind yourself what happened. By the way, all the data that you save in the system, you can always export it and send it to yourself or email to yourself or print it, whatever it is. So you can actually eventually create, if you want some kind of a
A
printed version
book,
of your
a
life,
book. Yeah.
a book or whatever it is, if this is something that you want to do. By the way, if people want to journal still in inside kind of a book because they prefer to handwrite, that's okay. I mean, it's not like you can do it if you want, but most people today just prefer to use kind of their phone or computer to just
This is an
easier.
off the wall question, but if they did like to journal in a normal journal and they wanted to take a JPEG image of it, could they upload the JPEG image to the software and save
Yeah,
that
they,
journal page or no, yes or no?
definitely they can upload a picture, but I'm saying if it's one picture, yes, but if it's going to do like one picture per day forever, that's going to be too much. And again, it's very difficult now to go back to kind of read it. So
Got
I
it.
wouldn't,
Okay.
if you want to write it in, you have some kind of a notepad, that's fine, you can use that. But
Okay.
most people today, I think, would prefer to do it electronically anyhow.
Well, I think a lot of people on an iPad, they have, I know me, I use GoodNotes a lot,
Mhm.
right? And you can just use the paper, it's like, looks like paper and handwrite
Yes,
with the Apple Pencil,
yes,
right?
yes, yes.
So I get that. Now you have a desktop version, you got an Android version, you have an iOS application of
Yes.
Success Wizard. What are the differences? Because one of the differences you just recently updated, which I thought was important in the iOS, which was the connection between Google Calendars, because a lot of people are going to want to have their calendar in front of them with
Yes.
this. Not that they're not using Google Calendars itself, but this is a great way if you're inside Success Wizard to see what's going on as well. And you can see, I think what's important is when you look back at the appointments and the people you've talked to and who you've had meetings with, that's a telltale sign of also what's going on in your life
Yes.
as well. Now you have it all hooked up for iOS and for the, I should say, for the iPad, but you don't yet quite have it for the desktop version, right?
It, it, it's by the time I think this podcast will be live, it will be also available on
Oh,
the desktop. So
okay.
we are kind of we are making a few improvements and enhancements regarding calendar integration. I mean, this feature, by the way, it seems to be like a very critical feature for many people to be able to actually do kind of a two-way integration with whether it's an Apple Calendar or Google Calendar that you have. And it's already available on the iPhone and the Android device app, but actually there is a new version coming up that will actually enhance it even much more. And it's also coming to the desktop. So basically, whatever you, when you integrate with any device, all the information will be available and accessible to you anywhere. And the beauty here is that not just, you import, for example, your activities from your Apple or Google Calendar into the app, but the idea here, going back to the main premise here, we are trying to make sure that whatever you do has a purpose. So
Yeah.
it ties back to some kind of a goal that you have. We don't want you to just, spend time on stuff that is irrelevant or unproductive. So you can import all the activities that you have, for example, on your calendars and making sure that you link them to specific goals. And if you don't have a goal that you can link it to, maybe this activity actually it's kind of a waste of time. You don't want to do it, or put it lower on your priority list.
But that's a great feature. You're saying that's coming up.
Yes, yes.
Good.
That's very important, I think, to make sure that, like I said before, this is critical. When you do the morning routine every day and you plan your day, we show you everything that you have on the list already and ask you, what are the 5 or 6 most important activities you can do today to make progress? Make progress towards your goals. Remind yourself what your goals are, and they are listed in the app, of course. And whatever you do, most of what you do, yes, you need to pay the bills from time to time. You need to go and buy groceries from time to time. But this is you spend most of your day doing it because you don't go anywhere. Yes, you have to do it in the afternoon, whatever, but you need to start with the big things, the big, rocks, the things that will actually change your life. And all those 5, 6 activities that we care about are things that if you're going to do those, you're going to make progress towards your goals. Something is going to change,
I like the fact that you're now integrating it in the desktop application as well. Mm-hmm. Now, you're a coach. You've been coaching people for years. Obviously, the software becomes an integral part of your coaching. Mm-hmm. And I came up with, what are the books or articles or things that you're telling your clients to read to improve efficiencies, productivity, be more aligned with their purpose? What are a couple of the things that you would tell our listeners to read in conjunction with the Success Wizard?
Yeah, so I'm an older person by now, so I go back to the classics. So when I started my journey in personal development, so I read, the Success Principles by Jack Canfield. I read the Goals by Brian Tracy, Eat the Frog by Brian Tracy. And so those are kind of and they are still very, very relevant books.
Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing. The principles didn't change.
Right.
So they are the same principles. Right. There are some new books, like you mentioned, about tiny habits, for example, or other atomic habits. Also, it's another book about habits.
Right.
You have the Marshall Goldschmidt, books about leadership and so on. They're also good. There's so much you can read. The point here I want to make actually is that one of the reasons I think this tool and tools like that are so important, and I've heard it from other people, many people, including Tony Robbins, for example, he keeps saying that, people come to his big events and they're great, very inspiring. People go out of this event and over the 3-day or 4-day weekend and they're all pumped up and yes, I'm going to change my life and so on. Or they read a good book, inspiring book, and they want to change their life, but then few days later, they are back to where they started. So the main issue is application. If it's not about just getting an insight. You can read a book and you can say, wow, that was a great book. I learned so much from it. But what are you going to do about it? Mm-hmm. If you're not going to incorporate those insights into your daily life, if you're not going to change something, like we said before, if you want to change your life, you need to change something in what you do, change your habits, change your day. If you're just reading for the sake of reading, okay, that's fine, that's good, but it's not going to make any difference eventually for you. So the tool is, the idea here is you can read all the books, you can go to all the workshops and all the seminars, but then come back and immediately start to implement.
Right. Well, and that's the beauty of Success Wizard is, look, if you're looking for a digital tool, it is the best. I'm not going to just say goal setting because that'd be the wrong term.
It's life management, I call it.
It's the best life management and life affirming tool that you could have that will supplement your own mental capacity and consciousness to remember these things, right? Mm-hmm. And so you now have a tool on your phone, whether it's Android or iOS, or whether you're using an iPad or you're using a desktop, you've got it available. Now, Our listeners, what would you like them to know? I know we talked about before this, we're going to give them a code, and we're going to give them 25% off on the code. And the code, by the way, for everybody listening at this point still, is IPG Success. You'll look for that code inside of the blog, and that will take you to a landing page that will allow you to get a 25% discount on the software. And I will say that the annual cost of doing this whole program is very insignificant. So if they're doing Android or iOS apps for those devices, what is the current cost right now, Yuval?
So, so there are two levels of subscriptions. There is what we call the pro level and the premium level.
Right.
So the pro level gives you unlimited, everything inside the iPhone app or the Android app, but doesn't give you unlimited access in the web application. So most people, since they want the complete package, the web, the Android, everything, basically in all the different features, they go for the premium package. And the premium package right now is basically $50 for 6 months or $100 per year. That's it.
100 a year, $9 a month.
Yeah. So this again,
right.
really
it's
significant
cheap.
to what you could get here. Yes, exactly.
Yes, it is.
To what you get here, and you get the complete package, all the features, everything unlimited, all the different platforms, and so on. And this is where we're going to actually, for the listeners here, we can provide some kind of a limited time opportunity to offer. Basically, you can still do we have kind of a free trial for 10 days, but if you're ready to go, you can actually get a discount.
You might as well just go ahead with it. That's we wanted to expose people using this podcast and this YouTube video to what's available. Now you have a YouTube channel, and I've gone to the channel, and if there was any one video out there that would give these, and we're going to put a link in our blog to that video, what's a good video for them to watch that's an overview of this? Obviously, they can go to your website and they can see a video there, but we're going to put a link to the YouTube. Which one would you tell them?
There is a short video. It's called a Success Wizard Introduction or Success Wizard Intro. It's like 4 minutes, basically, introduction to the software, going through the different sections, high level, because it would take, half an hour or more to go to each and every, but it's just kind of high level introduction to 4 minutes is the, again, Success Wizard Intro, and I will give you the link. But I would say more than that, it's really easy to actually sign up and just try it yourself and just take it inside. It takes a minute to sign up. There's no commitment. You don't need to pay anything. It's completely free unless you decide to upgrade later on, and just see how it goes for you. See, in 2 minutes, you can actually start setting your goals and creating a plan for yourself. And I think that's
I'm going to give an endorsement here. It is probably one of the easiest softwares. There are some areas in the software that take, it isn't just the software, it's the thought behind it.
Yes.
It's the time that you want to spend doing it. And if there's one thing that I would say is, if you're really going to get into it, you're going to need to take some time to commit to it. This isn't something you're going to dive in and in less than 5 minutes, you're going to have it all done. You might start something, but to continue to do it and to maintain it is going to take you some time and commitment. Like anything good in life.
Exactly. You want to accomplish something big, you need to, spend the time getting there. It's not like, absolutely. And if you want to use it like a simple to-do list, you can, but that's not the purpose of it. The purpose is to make it something that is actually make a big difference for you every day. And it's a commitment that you need to make to yourself. And that it is, I'm going to do something different, because like I said, if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting the same results. You want to do something different, okay, so let's define what it is and what's the plan to get there, and you need to execute.
Yep, and you got to change. You got to change. Well, I'm going to encourage all my listeners, not only obviously to listen to this podcast, which they'll be doing, but more importantly, go to successwizard.com. That's success, SUCCESSWIZARD.com. There you can find all the program features. You can do your download. You can sign up. You can do everything that you need. We, at our website at Inside Personal Growth, in the blog for this particular, will have a link to being able to get the discount code. So make sure you take advantage of that. Yuval, it's been a pleasure having you on Inside Personal Growth and spending a few minutes with our listeners speaking about Success Wizard, this a great life management tool that you've created. I really do believe it is the best one out there, and so people should take advantage of this offer. And thanks for being on.
Thank you very much. Have a great weekend.
I will. You as well.
We connect soon.
All right. Take care. Bye,
Thank
Yuval.
you, Greg. Okay, bye-bye.